Hey everyone, for my last Etsy video, I thought it would be fun to share my Etsy story. So I'm going to go over how I got started and what I've learned along the way. So it all started in June 2019. I had just graduated with my social work bachelor's degree and I applied to my school's graduate program, but I didn't get in, which was disappointing because I really thought I was going to get in and I didn't have an alternative plan. I was discouraged, but I also felt motivated and ambitious. My plan didn't go how I expected, and I knew I had to make a plan B. What I wanted to do was create something that I could build up and be proud of. So I started Ripple Effects. I wanted my shop to be something I enjoyed and already knew a little bit about. I ended up picking bath products and bath bombs. It's something I had interest in, and I thought it was something I could do. I didn't think it was so ambitious that I would fail. It really felt right, so I started planning and it took off from there. It was always my goal to get my master's degree in social work, and this was something that my privileges would help me receive, so I never once thought about giving up on that goal. I did end up applying to other colleges, and I got into a different graduate school that I went to while running my business on Etsy. What I learned from all of this is that sometimes plans don't go the way we imagine, but by not giving up and adjusting to the changes, I was able to accomplish my goals, which I'm really proud of. Now I'll go over a quick timeline of my milestones so you can get an idea of what an Etsy shop's growth might look like. So I opened my shop on June 12th, 2019, and I received my first sale on July 30th. My third sale was on September 2nd, so I got 3 sales in about 3 months. Then the holidays came around and my sales did pick up a little bit. For 2019, which for me was July to December, I received 18 orders. And then along came 2020. I'll admit my sales did increase very fast in March of 2020, mostly for 2 reasons. The first reason is that what I sold was a trending search item on Etsy for 1 or 2 weeks, which drove a lot of traffic to my shop. The other thing that happened was COVID-19. I did see an increase in sales for items related to self-care and at-home relaxation. And before I knew it, I reached 100 sales, then 500 sales, then 1,000 sales. So as you can see, for me it took about 8 months for my shop to start getting more popular. I am not saying this will be your experience. It all depends on what you sell and how you promote your shop. It may take you months to get a sale, or you may get a sale within a week. Speaking for myself, the first months of my shop being open in 2019, my products were kind of all over the place. I spent a lot of time improving my listings, photos, and products. I changed and removed things pretty regularly, so there was some inconsistency, and it took time for me to really settle on my shop's products and image. So this can definitely contribute to why my sales were so low at the beginning. After I started getting more business, I decided to try expanding out more. Some things worked out, and others not so much. First, I created a Society 6 page, which is a website where creators can upload their artwork or photography and have it printed on a large variety of items. But nothing ever came from my page, and it was a flop. Then I started a YouTube channel so I could share more videos of my products. which I know I'm not the best at, but I do enjoy it. And finally, I opened my second Etsy shop called Parapaper, which you might recognize if you have seen my other Etsy videos. So, how are my shops doing today? They both are still going. Things were doing good with ripple effects, but then I hit some road bumps. I did a big revamp in September where I removed a lot of items that didn't sell and changed up some of the active listings. Honestly, I am losing some motivation. Right now, I'm reassessing and deciding what I want to do, which is something we all come across throughout our lives. I just need to keep thinking about what I want to do and decide if I'll keep going or if it's time to move on. I do prefer my second shop, Parapaper, and I love that I'm helping spread joy, so I have no plans on leaving Etsy. Alright, now I'm going to get into some things I've gained throughout this experience, and I've definitely learned a lot from the mistakes I've made along the way. When I first started my shop, I was a bit inexperienced selling online because it was fairly new to me. I did research, I joined groups on social media, and I tried my best to learn as much as I could, but it was still a learning process, which means mistakes are going to happen. I was really into photography and still am, so I thought taking product photos would be easy, but turns out it was a bit tricky. I improved a lot over time, mainly figuring out the right angles and lighting. So ideally, you want to have bright light and a clean, simple background. When I first started, my products were kind of all over the place and changed constantly. I was originally hoping to make bath bombs, but that didn't work out. I instead created a shimmer bath bomb powder that became popular. So settling on that unique item and creating more around that really helped lift my shop up. It takes practice to improve your techniques. For me, it was testing my recipes and making changes to listings or ingredients. I started off just buying things on Amazon, but then started learning more about where to get ethically sourced and sustainable products. When working with customers, I really learned the do's and don'ts, like what to say and how to deal with certain problems. Something that helps me is having a list of replies to common problems or questions, like if a package is late. It helps keep your policies consistent and enforced, and helps with responding quickly. So here's some things to consider before opening a shop. For the majority of people, an Etsy shop will not provide long-term support and rarely will provide you with enough earnings to be a full-time job. So be aware of your options and be realistic. This doesn't mean it's impossible to grow your business, but it's something to consider as you set goals. Running a shop does build skills and provides experience, like money management, customer service, and skills related to your creations. It is also a huge creative outlet and can be a lot of fun if you enjoy what you make. If you're passionate about something, then don't let doubt get in your way. There's a proverb I like that goes, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now." So you'll never know if you don't try. Though I also recommend not putting all your eggs into one basket. If you're looking for more tips on whether or not opening a shop on Etsy is right for you, check out my other videos about selling on Etsy. Alright, so that concludes this video. I hope sharing my story was able to provide some information and some perspective on what it's like to open and run an Etsy shop. And remember, don't give up, learn from your mistakes, keep growing, be realistic, and most importantly, have fun and enjoy what you're doing in life. Check out my links in the description and my other videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching.